Hello everyone, I hope you all are safe and sound since we all have been locked down at our home due to COVID-19. So we all have ample of time to use it rather in a productive way. So today's lesson would be synthesis and splitting of sentences. So synthesis means the combination of a number of simple sentences into one new sentence that can be either simple sentence, compound sentence, or complex sentence. So synthesis of sentences is very much important to write good English. So first you need to understand what do you mean by synthesis. Synthesis means joining of sentences. So there are different ways of joining sentences into one simple sentences or compound sentences or complex sentences. So today we are going to learn about by using an adjective before a noun. We'll join sentence by using present participle state, by using a present participle fastness. I'll teach you later on what does it actually means, by using perfect participle active voice, and by using perfect participle in passive voice. So today we are going to join the sentences using all these rules. The sentences using an adjective before a noun. So I have here 3 sentences written. So first you need to understand what is an adjective. As you all know, describing words are called adjective. So in the first sentences, adjective would be old. In second sentence, adjective would be. First thing you need to bear it in your mind is whether the subject are similar or not. Okay, in what way we can join these sentences into one sentence. So this would be the easier one among the rest of the rule. So it's very easy. I met man on the way, he was old. So it's very easy to join. So answer for this would be I met an old man on the way. So number 2, in the similar way, do not laugh at the man, he is lame would be do not laugh at the lame man. So in number 3, there are 2 adjectives, kind and popular. So we'll be joining anyone. So the answer for this will be the kind girl was popular among her friends. So this is the easiest one among others. So now we are going to learn to join a sentence by using a participle. It can be by either ing or ed verb. Okay, so before we go with the illustration, first you need to understand this rule. If there is state, if the sentence suggests some state of the person, and if there is or was where, you can begin with being. Okay, this is one rule that you need to bear it in your mind. And if there is any prompt action right after one action, so you need to use ing form of verb. Okay, so let us understand it better with these illustrations. So number 1, the boy was hungry, he ate food. So first thing that you need to understand it whether the subject of these sentences are similar or not. So here the boy and he are similar. That means the boy was hungry and he ate food. Means he is also means the boy. So we have same subjects here, same subjects here, same subject in all of these kind of questions. So, and the second thing you need to understand is whether this sentence suggests the state of the person or not. So state means the boy was hungry. That means it is a state of that person. That person was hungry, so he ate food. So you can write this sentence by using this rule, being. So you need to write this being in the beginning. You need to drop this. Being hungry, and then the subject you need to bring here after comma. The boy ate food. Okay. In the similar way, number 2, he is very weak, he cannot go. Means they both are same subject. So again, it's also a state of a person. Okay, he is very weak. So being very weak, comma, he cannot go, full stop. He was tired, he sat down to rest. Similarly, being tired, he sat down to rest. So it's also an easy. Hence, if you notice, you will see there is one action right after another action. Means the boy saw me come, and as soon as the boy saw me come, he ran away. So there is an immediate and prompt action right after these actions. Okay, that is why there is this rule. If there is any prompt action or if there is a fastness in the action, we need to use ing form of verb. Ram went to the garden. As soon as he went to the garden, he plucked flowers. Okay, so there is an immediate actions between these two actions. He went to the garden and then he plucked flowers. We found the place uncongenial and we refused. So in these 3 sentences, there is an immediate action. So here you also have to see whether the subjects are similar or not. So all the subjects here are similar. The boy and he, Ram and he, we and we. So the answer would be ing form. So you need to pick up the verb of the first sentence. So the verb of first sentence is saw. So ing form of saw will be seeing. Seeing me come, he ran. Sorry, you need to bring this. The boy ran away. Okay, and in number 5, Ram went to the garden. So ing form of went would be going. So going to the garden, Ram plucked flowers. Okay, and number 3 also would be same. So found, B4 ing form would be finding the place most uncongenial, comma, we refuse to stay for another day. So this is another rule of synthesizing sentences into one sentences. Okay, simple sentences. So now again we'll be learning to join the sentences by using perfect participle. Actually this both are similar rule, okay, but I'm just trying to elaborate it so that you can understand it more properly. So by using perfect participle, so perfect participle means having plus V3 is past participle, and I have written here active voice. You will understand when I'll go through the illustrations. Okay, that means you need to understand these rules first. Having plus V3 for active voice, okay, and having plus been plus V3 or being plus V3 for passive voice. So this is the rule that you need to understand to do these answers. So here are 2 sentences. Ram wrote a letter, he went to post it. And all the subjects of these sentences, all these questions are same. Okay, all the subjects of all these questions are similar. Okay, so let us go to question number 1. Ram wrote a letter. He went to post it. So the difference between this rule and this rule is that there is a gap between these two actions. Okay, first he will write a letter and then later on he will go and post it. So there is a gap between these two actions. Okay, so we need to write either this rule or this rule. So to choose which rule to be written here, we need to see whether the sentence is in active voice or passive voice. So Ram wrote a letter, so it's in active voice, so we are going to use this rule. So how? We'll drop out this Ram, so we'll start with writing. We'll write having. V3 of wrote will be written, having written a letter. Now Ram will be coming here. Ram went to post it. Okay, and he finished his work. He went home. So again we'll be writing here having finished his work, he went home. You should be having that approach to understand that whether the time of these two actions are happening in the immediate period or not. Okay, so you should be understanding that clearly. Saina lost her match. She was disappointed. So it's also in active voice. This is also in active voice. So having lost her match, Saina, we will bring this, Saina was disappointed. So now this is it. So number 4, 5, 6 would be, now the letter was typed by the secretary, the letter was signed by the boss. So now you see this sentence. Okay, the was typed. Okay, we use is, am, are plus V3 with in passive voice. So obviously these sentences are all in passive voice. So we are going to use this rule, having been plus V3 or being plus V3. So for number 4, we'll either write this answer or this. Okay, so let us begin with this one. So being typed by the secretary, the letter was signed by the boss. Okay, and number 5, Ankit was interrupted several times. He was rather annoyed. So this sentence is also in passive voice, so we can write it either this or this. We have already used this, so let us use this one now. Having been interrupted several times, Ankit was rather annoyed. Sorry for the bad handwriting, but I hope you all are getting all these rules very properly. The injured man was rescued. He was taken to hospital. So having, you can either write this or this. Okay, so having been rescued, the injured man was taken to hospital. Okay, so this is the end of today's lesson. So we have learned 3 rules today. This is by using by an adjective. It's very easy. You need to use an adjective before a noun, and we have learned by using a participle. You just need to bear it in your mind. If there is any state of the person, okay, if there is am, are, as, was, way, you can use it with start with being. And if there is an impromptu action right after the first action, you need to use ing form of verb. Okay, so 3 for this rule, 3 for this rule. So again, with the perfect participle, if it is an active voice, you need to use having plus v3. If it's in passive voice, you can use either of these two. And you need to bear it in your mind that there is a gap between these two accents. Okay, so there is a bit gap between these two accents, so that is why we use perfect participle. If there is no gap, if there is an immediate actions right after another action, we can use participle. Okay, you can use this present participle ing form of verb. Got it? So if you have not understood, rewind the video and watch it. Try to understand it very properly. As I said, synthesizing of sentence will enable you to talk and write good English. Okay, and plus obviously it's going to come in your exam. So right after this video, you'd be getting some exercises that you need to do it by your own. And when you do those exercises, you just have to use this logic, whether that is in a state, whether the action is happening promptly, or whether there is a gap between the action, or whether the sentence is in active voice, or whether the sentence is in passive voice. Okay, so till then, stay safe, stay home, and use your time very productively.